Yo, what's going on, you guys? This is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, bringing you another update on Transformers Reactivate. I know you guys are probably upset that we didn't get a chance to see a gameplay reveal at this year's Unreal Fest, but fret not, we do have some things that have leaked in the form of toys, which seems to be the lifeblood keeping this thing afloat. There has been so many different things, from character reveals and everything else under the sun, which correlates to these action figures, and I feel like that's something that falls directly in line with Hasbro, because for the most part we're noticing now that toys come first and they always have that ready to go before the actual product comes out, whether it be a TV show, a movie, or in this case a video game. And that seems to be the case for Transformers Reactivate. Now, as you guys know, Transformers Reactivate has seen its fair share of fingerprints from different developers all over it, meaning that it's been in this kind of transitional phase where it started off as one thing, but now it's turned into another thing after certain Affinity has acquired it. And later on in the video you're going to see where I'm coming from with this, because there are certain things that still have managed to trickle over from previous devs that have worked on the title. But anyways, how about those toys? They just keep coming, and it's kind of crazy because it seems like the only thing I can compare this to is like a big pipe that's leaking, and all these different informational tidbits have come out for Transformers Reactivate, and now that pipe is kind of getting to a swelling point where it's like this big bubble and it's ready to combust of all these details at any moment now. Like, that's the only thing I can compare this to, because Transformers Reactivate, it's kind of in this weird kind of paradox to where the fans are doing the developer's job for them, where we're just supplying all these different details in regards to the characters, the different layouts, and what the gameplay features are going to be like, and the devs, those being Splash Damage and Bulkhead, are like the plumbers in this situation, where they're just sitting there as the water continues to rise up, and by the time they take their little wrench and tighten up that pipe, it's going to be too late, because we're going to know everything there is to know about this game. But you guys already know how I am. I'm not really just faulting them on this, because they do have a certain kind of guideline to go by in terms of what they can and cannot say, and Hasbro, being the brand that it is, it likes to coincide their products with the actual media that's going to be related to it, so they're all about their brand synergy. And I'm pretty sure that Splash Damage really wants to say something, but they simply can't. But thankfully Hasbro can't keep that rule of thumb for their actual figures, because they only have so much storage space to keep their toys in. And since Transformers Reactivate has been in a development phase for quite some time, they've already managed to make a lot of figures that are going to be featured in the game, and those toys have just been sitting there collecting dust. We're talking thousands, probably even millions of these figures just sitting there, while other toys are just waiting to be produced to take that spot. So Hasbro has to put them out there into these stores, and usually when this happens, certain listings come out for the toys, and these listings usually go into detail about what type of toy it's going to be, from a studio class or a deluxe class figure, or if it's going to feature some kind of gimmick for the younger audience. They even tell you how many steps it's going to take to make these characters transform, and based on previous leaks that we've gotten, these characters go through like 30 steps, which shows you how much detail the figures are going to have. And today the saga continues, because we have more leaked toys down the pipeline. Now, this news comes courtesy of TFW2005.com, that recently revealed that Toys R Us Canada website showcased the toys for Bumblebee and Starscream. It says, and I quote, "Coming to us via Toys R Us Canada website, we have our first stock images of the new Transformers Rise, Starscream, and Bumblebee 2-pack. These figures should be part of the Transformers Reactivate game collection, formerly known as Transformers Rise. We have images of the packaging and the robot and alt mode of Bumblebee and Starscream. The design looks stylized, but still retaining some classic elements. Bumblebee has got 20 transformation steps and Starscream 26 steps, and each figure stand 5.5 inch and 6.5 inch respectively. The pack is priced at $97.99 Canada dollars, which is about $71.90 in US dollars. So as you hear, these toys are going to come in a 2-pack, which features characters from both sides, those being the Autobots and the Decepticons. In one of my previous videos, I went over the leaks of Optimus Prime and Soundwave, who are featured in their own toy set, and in my opinion this feels kind of indicative of the team-ups that we're going to have up in the game, because since there's this big anomaly that's been taking over Earth, these pairings are going to be something that's needed in order to counteract that. Like, I can see Optimus and Soundwave using like these different team attacks and using their own separate abilities. I can see Bumblebee shocking the surrounding enemies to put them in a paralyzed state and have like Starscream drop a bomb on them. You know, something along those lines that's going to make it very fun and intuitive, because it's really not that often that we get the Autobots working in line with the Decepticons, especially in the video game. game. So that's going to be something that's really going to be unique, and I hope they put a lot of emphasis on that like they're doing with these action figures. But anyways, as you can see, these toys look like they've been ripped right off of the concept pages, because if you guys remember, we got a concept for Bumblebee in his robot and alt mode, and he's still going to be using that Doom Buggy alt mode, which pretty much is indicative of what kind of layout this game is going to take place in, where everything's going to be like in a doomed out post-apocalyptic area where roads and stuff have been taken over by foliage and cracks are in the ground. It's really going to emphasize how much humanity has suffered at the hand of this Legion, or the Quintessons, because based off of the details from the toy box, that's who's going to be the main antagonist in this. And I had a nagging suspicion that it was going to be that, because they've always been one of the end-all be-all villains to the Transformers. Like, if it isn't Megatron trying to take over everything in Cybertron, you have the Quintessons doing that, or Unicron, you know, one of those three. The details read as follow: Transformers rise. When the Quintessons attack New York City, an unlikely alliance must be forged to stop the alien threat. In Transformers Rise, Autobots and Decepticons team up to stop the Quintesson menace before they take over the universe. Choose your players. Fans can add an unlikely co-op to their collections. This 2-pack includes Autobot Decepticon team up of Starscream and Bumblebee figures, video game inspired alt modes. Starscream figure converts to Jet mode in 26 steps, Bumblebee figure converts to Doom Buggy mode in 20 steps, battle damage deco and accessories. Both toys feature premium metallic battle damage deco reflecting the character graphics in the video game, includes 2 null rays and 2 ion pistol accessories. Rise theme packaging. Rise figures feature special packaging inspired by Transformers Rise with image stills of characters from the game. Look for more Transformers Rise figures to capture moments from the game, subject to availability. So yeah, one of the big things to take away from this is that they're going by the name Transformers Rise as opposed to Reactivate, and as I mentioned earlier guys, there have been multiple development teams that have had their hands on this title. The first one being Certain Affinity. Like, when we first got the announcement that we were getting a Transformers game, Certain Affinity announced that they were going to be working on something, and Transformers Rise was rumored to be that title. So the Transformers Rise title being featured on these toy boxes is very indicative of where the project started from. So we were white hot on all these different details when they were coming down, right? And now we're getting this confirmation that it was in fact named what it was, but now it's Transformers Reactivate. And now we have some more things to back this up, because my man RoboGamer1 HD put this out. It features toys/characters revealed in an old Transformers Rise showcasing. And not only do we have Bumblebee and Starscream again, but we now have Optimus Prime and Soundwave. And these guys look amazing, man. They look really good. I think this is the closest we've gotten to a 3D render for Starscream and Soundwave. Like, we've seen what they were going to look like before, but they were in these classic 2D illustrated images as opposed to 3D models. And since we're on the topic of 3D models, I want to talk about this Optimus in particular, because we've already seen how he looks in 3D with some of the leaks that we got with him and Bumblebee, but this image right here seems to be a bit different. You know, he has a different robot mode compared to what we saw up in all the images that have been going online. Some would argue that maybe this was his original design and that's since been changed to what we got now, but I do remember hearing that Optimus Prime was going to have 2 different versions of himself. You were going to have one that was like an entry mode, like Cybertronian in nature, and he would have a post-apocalyptic Earth-based mode that looks akin to something from Mad Max. And that may be the case for every Transformer up in this game. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they have different versions of themselves. Like, it's important to note that this game is going to have customization in mind, because the whole gimmick is to find these injured Transformers that have been deactivated and reactivate them by way of rebuilding them with newer parts. But anyways, I want to move on to some other things that you guys may have noticed about this, because upon reading the comments on RoboGamer1 HD's post, I noticed that there were fans who were confused on what gameplay genre this game will have, because we've heard that this is going to be a third-person action shooter game, right? But for whatever reason, this listing shows that it's going to be a free-to-play next-gen first-person shooter game, which had some fans scratching their heads. But it's important to point out that this screenshot was taken from Certain Affinity when they had their hands on the title, and I'm guessing when they were working on it, they were going to make it a first-person shooter. But since things have changed and it's shifted over to another development studio, it's become a third-person action shooter game. I think something that can prove that this will be a third-person action shooter game is the fact that the box art shows what the gameplay will look like, or what it looked like at the time. And as you can see, it's in third person. You see Bumblebee in his Doom Buggy mode, and you kind of see those tentacles that were featured up in the trailer, and you see this good shot shot of Ratchet and what looks to be Bumblebee or Sunstreaker and Starscream in this devastated city that's being taken over by all this foliage and trees and stuff. I do think that certain things are still gonna stick with this newer format. Like, I feel like it will be a free-to-play game with microtransactions, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video because I had a blast making it. Are you liking the duo concept this game is alluding to, where you'll have to select an Autobot and Decepticon to pair up with? And how do you feel about the designs? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, I ask that you like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. But if you really enjoyed this video, it would help me out tremendously if you shared it with all your friends and followers on all the different social media outlets. Sharing really makes a difference. But once again, this is your boy RBG signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. As a successful YouTube user, I often get questions asking what I use to get my videos tons of views. And the answer to that is TubeBuddy. This thing has helped me take my channel to the next level in ways I never imagined. It's a browser extension that helps new and experienced YouTubers grow fast and optimize their channels. I've been using this extension for years and it's constantly getting updated with new features, like the SEO tool that helps me come up with the perfect title, description, and tags to get more people to click on my videos. It even provides you with analytics beside your videos to see how much traffic your video is generating from various social media sites. The extension is absolutely free, but as a special offer, we're giving a 50% discount for channels that have less than 1,000 subscribers that purchase the Pro upgrade. All you have to do is enter in the code RisingStarBuddy. So if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel or taking your content to the next level, download the extension now. You can do so by clicking on this link that'll be provided in the description of this video.